Hello, viewers, and welcome to the finale of ranking every Pokemon ever. As you've seen through Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4, and now we're into Part 5, we've been ranking every Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 8 in the order, all on one single-formed, basically, tier list under the S tier, as you probably saw on the left-hand side, putting them from first place to last place and where they ranked. Well, what I wanted to do for this final part to wrap it all up is actually put it into a tier list from, S tier to F tier, whatever you wanted to say. Although I came up with more creative names because I thought it would, I don't know, just sounded funny in my head. But yes, we've been doing, like I said, this series for a while now. If you have not seen any of the previous parts, I say we go, alright, I would suggest you would go back and watch them. They are a lot of fun. You get to hear why we put certain Pokemon in certain places. Now you're going to hear why I put them in the tier that they are, and what kind of separated them from not being in the ultimate tier to, not being in the last tier, so on and so forth. But no matter where you see these Pokemon actually finalized ranked, I can find good things or bad things to say about any and all Pokemon. I still love every single Pokemon, but now I can definitively say I know what my least favorite Pokemon is and my favorite Pokemon is. And from here, we can actually take this knowledge and make other top 10s, other top things we can do, and then eventually some things that aren't featured on here, like Gigantamax forms or Shinies, we can talk about as well, that we can maybe do somewhere down the road. But yes, for now, we're going to focus on finishing out this one. Welcome to part 5. As you see over to my right, I have the screen actually hidden of the tier list. I put actually the logo I've been using for basically the thumbnail for this whole series. I don't know, I just thought this was creative because I'm like, this whole time I'm just like thinking where each Pokemon is, and then even after I rank them, I'm like, is that really where they wind up? Am I thinking too much into this? Whatever. But I've kept them where they are. I have not changed any Pokemon's ranking around other than, like I said, now putting them into official tiers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the holder image here of the Pokemon trainer from Gen 5 thinking, and we are going to go in to my official rankings of every Pokemon ever up to Generation 8. So let me go ahead and take this guy down, and we're going to start from the very bottom, which I called the Saiyan tier. So when I thought of, like, obviously it was like the S and then SS tier, when I saw the original rankings, it reminded me of Super Saiyan, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go with Dragon Ball themed. So, like I said, because all these Pokemon I still think are great in some way, even, like I said, the last place Pokemon here, like, like the Alolan Raticate and Bruxish and all that, I can still find good things about them. Alolan Raticate, you'd say, like, with Super Fang and different things, I just not used them ever, just don't like a lot of the design with it, not a lot of attachment things, and like I said, yeah, all it could take is a Nuzlocke or something like that to really push some of these Pokemon that are even at the very bottom up. Just like, take, for example, Golbat, who's going to be way up higher here in the list. He could be so much lower. I don't know where he would have officially ranked if it wasn't for our Pokemon Red's Nuzlocke and Batty and being the MVP of our team and helping me win my first Nuzlocke. That's ultimately what made him so high on where he is. But yeah, all it takes is just a bit more connections with certain Pokemon for them to go up higher than where they are. But like I said, I take them as for the facts that they were. So here we are in Saiyan tier, starting with, is it Silly Cobra, all the way to Bruxish. Just kind of starts where they became either creepy or awkward or just weren't my cup of tea on designs and things like that. And said, like I said, no attachment to them as much. Like Esper with the eyes just really creeped me out. It like looks into my soul and just freaks me out. The Castform and Silcone line, they just don't do anything for me. They're not useful. They're unique, don't get me wrong, but just again, not a lot of attachment with it. Barboach looks kind of ish weird, but I do have a shiny one in Pokemon Go, so like there's a bit of that going for it, but again, it's just kind of like a fish. Like I said, each one of these I can find positives and or negatives for. It's just, again, this is where they kind of rank. So here's our Saiyan tier. You see them all here. I'm not going to name every single Pokemon in that list. You can kind of see them. And then we go up to False Super Saiyan. For those that don't know what the False Super Saiyan was, it was what Goku turned into before the Frieza saga and all that. He was battling Lord Slug. I'm pretty sure it was the person he fought when he turned into a false Super Saiyan. Kind of looks like a Kaioken-ish Super Saiyan. But either way, enough on why I'm explaining that. It's not what it matters here. Starts with Jinx and ends with the Hatteran pre-evolution or baby evolution part. Jinx began the list because it just started where it goes to a little bit toward the creepy side, but Jinx I had a little bit of nostalgia with because of Pokemon Snap, things like that. It can be a useful mon, but again, it begins that shift into, and this one kind of design-wise rubs me some wrong way. Say with Hypno or things like that. There's things about them I like, but again, just where it starts that shift of too much other badness, whether it be design or lore or whatever, that starts the shift down, or just not a lot speaking to me with them. That's what puts them in this ranking, starting from Jinx all the way down to Hatrin's little baby here. Next we have the Super Saiyans here, starting with the Squovet, I think, line, and then ending with a Alola. Again, I started with the Squirrel because that one was right where I felt like the shift was from. I'm starting to not really recognize these Pokemon, have no little attachment with them, no gameplay, majority focus, just have maybe some uniqueness with either competitive or seeing them in a few Let's Plays here and there, but otherwise, that was about it. Or liking bits of their design, but yeah, again, no attachment otherwise. So, they're kind of, again, in that crossover, but nothing super tier. But yeah, so you see from Squovit's line all the way down to Alola is where the shift is here. And then we go up to our biggest one, I think, is Super Saiyan Mastered Form. Instead of going by like each grade, like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, like what the Trunks and Vegeta did, and all that when they like get bulky and all that, I just figured I'd call it Super Saiyan Mastered Goku and Gohan. When they got out of the time chamber and all that, they were able to stay Super Saiyan without any repercussions. That is this list, and it is pretty much our biggest one here, starting from the Komodo, Jagmo, whatever, that lines of Pokemon, starting there, because again, that's right where it started. There's bits of this design that kind of bug me, but there's a lot of this Pokemon I could still like. Say like Orbeetle, for example. I love its Gigantamax, really great shiny looking thing, like Pokemon, but there's just still parts of the un-Gigantamax form that just kind of, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of that design. Or Jagmo being kind of like too scaly or whatever. It's just like more little nitpicks. Caterpie, a lot of anime remembrance, but again, it's just a Caterpie. Like different things where there's some stuff going for them, but again, ultimately, as you kind of see here, the whole list, I'm trying not to scroll too fast, so I'm sorry there, but you can kind of see where all these kind of Pokemon that fall into, you know, they got something, but still just not enough to be any higher, ending with Chargebug, ending the list there. Next, we have, after Super Saiyan Mastered, if I can keep scrolling up, because I don't want to give away the name until we see the name, is Super Saiyan 2, you know, after Gohan and Goku for a little bit of time. Going from Bolton all the way down to Tapu Fini, is that right? I figured Thwackey was right at that edge, like right where they go to. Really good design, really like their Pokemon lines, have some kind of starting relationship with them through whether Nuzlocks or gameplays or just liking them more. Bolton was right at that cusp of between him and Thwackey. Thwackey just has something more going with him with this whole evolution line looking a lot better, and still a bit of his design I like. Bolton, it was his face that kind of like threw me off of it. So that's what started that separation between him and Thwackey. And going all the way from Bolton, again, sorry, I don't mean to keep scrolling fast. I know I'm just trying to get there, but I can take it slow, whatever. All the way down to Tapu Fini. Figured he was the separation between Komodo, because the difference was, okay, he's too scaly. There's a lot more issues I find with him than I do with Tapu Fini. So just, again, that's where that separation was, or whatever Tapu that is. I can't remember some of their names. And maybe that's why it's not ranked as high. Next, after Super Saiyan 2, we got Super Saiyan 3. At this point, obviously, we're not going to go all mastered and whatever for a little bit of time. But obviously, as you saw, we end with Thwackey, like I talked about, just because he does speak to me a bit more. I love his whole evolution line, and all these Pokemon have some bits of them, whether it be because of their evolution or just the Pokemon itself, or it's just his design or whatever. Seeing them in Nuzlocke, anything like that, they've got something kind of really going for them, kind of pretty strong, you know. They got a little oomph going, but not as high as our top tier, but ends with Mr. Abra. And then you see it goes into Meloetta as the next tier up. Abra and Meloetta, literally the difference is Abra, again, it's just an Abra that teleports. I mean, Smash Brothers really helped it out. It is a cute little Pokemon. I like the follow animation and like how you have to approach it in the wild and all that. But the Meloetta also had Smash and all that, but also looked cute and had something more going with the design and usefulness. So that's why I kind of did that separation between these two. Next, we got Super Saiyan 4. I get maybe not canon, whatever. One of our next shortest ones again. Starting from Rosewain down to Meloetta. Obviously, you heard me talk a little bit about why Meloetta was the end of the list, and then why Roserade's not going to go higher up to Starmie. Again, now it's where, right after you go up to Roserade to Starmie, that separation between Starmie and Roserade is like anime familiar, and seeing it or using it in gameplays. A lot of just checking marking a lot of things. I've seen it in an anime. I really love its design. I've used it before. I've seen it a lot. I know how competitive it can be. A lot of more just personal attachment. That was the difference between Starmie and Roserade. Roserade, no anime attachment, not really seen it much. Caught a few in Pokemon Go, got a shiny one in there, so it has that going for it. And it is a really good, useful mon, but Starmie has like Recover and really strong. Used it in, Kanto, Johto, seen it in so many gameplays and things like that. That's why it's the difference. Obviously, Misty had one in the anime, so there's your Super Saiyan 4 rankings there, in case you didn't see them. I know I kind of did there again. Super Saiyan God is the next one. Like I said, we ended with Starmie, and it goes all the way up to Mega Slowbro. The difference between Zangoose and Mega Slowbro is Mega Slowbro gets so many points for derp in this, where Zangoose gets a lot of BA vibes and all that. These ones were probably the closest to, next to each other on, like, where I wanted that split to actually go on it, because it was somewhere between either Mega Slowbro or Nidoqueen was right about where I could see that split happening. But, like I said, Zangoose still spoke so much more than what Mega Slowbro did, so that's why I was like, no, it's still such a big gap between even Zangoose. Yes, it's a bigger gap between Nidoqueen and Zangoose, but still a significant gap to me to feel like it's a tier above. That's why I chose this one, so you can see the Super Saiyan Gods here, as we have finally reached into the God tiers of Pokemon. Never thought you'd probably see a Pichu and a God, but, that's where he ranks for me, and that's my opinion on it. And if you want to hear why I put him where he is, go back and watch part 2, right? Because that's where Pichu would have been ranked, and why he got so high after all this time. Then we got our Super Saiyan Blues, starting from Wobbuffet, ending with Zangoose. Like I said, we talked a bit why Zangoose is the end of it, and Wobbuffet is the start of it, because Wobbuffet, as much as he's known as the Nuzlocke anime, he's been around the anime ever since he was basically debuted, with Team Rocket and all that, very quirky, weird character and all that, but again, him between Magmortar is literally that a lot of familiarity, either myself having one, my cousin's favorite Pokemon being it, and a lot of gameplay. Again, it's just that little bit extra. Every time we go a tier up, it's just even more connections, even more memories with them through whether just myself or others, or seeing it with others, and then also tops of design and lore and all this other stuff as well. Ooh, we got fire trucks going by right now. Hello, fire trucks. Thanks for adding to the video. They just know this is all fire right now, right? Leave the likes because it's fire, right? That's how this works. Next, we got our Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken form. We finally have added that next power-up. We're going up in the rankings, fighting. Able to handle hit now, maybe. I don't know what I'm saying. But starting with Snorlax down to, like I said, Magmortar. Again, I'm not going to keep repeating. This is going to be the last time I say it, but obviously the difference between Darkrai and Snorlax is just that separation of it goes to even more familiarity, even more connections with stuff, with Darkrai being like, it's known as Patters as his mascot, and a lot of, inspiration of PokeTuber with Patters. Darkrai is really cool in Smash. It's a really cool looking designed Pokemon. Used it once. I mean, yes, maybe I've used Snorlax more in gameplays, but just the design of it really gives it that amp. Snorlax, yes, has Smash as well, but it's that big, even though he has Pokemon Snap and all that, it just doesn't speak to me as much as Darkrai. I get it, usability, maybe Snorlax is way better than a Darkrai, but again, just that design of Darkrai and how cool he looks gives him still some points. That's what separates them. Like I said, some of these are so going to be sounding close together at times, but again, in my head, I know why, and I'm trying my best to talk through why this one went into that next tier up. Next, we got Super Saiyan Blue Limit Break. Vegeta, when he's against Jiren and all that, finally ascended the Super Saiyan Blue form, just like Goku did with Kaioken. He had his own form. Starts from Mewtwo X all the way down to Darkrai. And you can kind of see those that are in this group of the Super Saiyan Blues. So many great Pokemon in here. A lot that just have a lot of, connections with me, like Meryl being one of my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, super cute, wish it was more usable, but again, just super cute. Meowth, obviously a lot of anime memorance, Gigantamax forms and all that, get points in that. Typhlosion looked really cool, wish he had a little bit more fire, but again, really cool. Remember starting with him in Gen 2, so that's where these went. Now we're in Ultra Instinct. We have finally able to, take on Jiren and some of the gods around the Dragon Ball universe, starting with Rockruff and ending with Groudon. All these Pokemon have such great connections with me, from being either extremely cute, greatly designed, so many great memories. Squirtle with like Squirtle Squad and the Shiny in Pokemon Go, and Poke Chat and all this different stuff with Squirtle that I remember through different memories and growing up and thinking, like using them in playthroughs and all that. Super cute Pokemon. Like I said, so much check marks of like why these are where they are. Just like I said, there's one extra check as we go each ranking up. So the difference between, like, say, Squirtle and Pidgeotto, both anime, yes, check. Both playthrough, check, check. Both pretty good design, check, check. But Squirtle was like cuteness, check. Pidgeotto, not so cute. Cool evolution line, check, check. But it's just that one extra. He's got one extra little check that's got these tiers almost separate out. That's the best I can describe it. And then finally we have our mastered Ultra Instinct. We can finally, get all the way up to Sinnoh and take him on and maybe probably lose. But either way, hey, we can say we've mastered what the gods consider the best ability out there. Starting from Mega Charizard Y, my all-time favorite Pokemon, and it's shiny, and everything about it that looks so freaking cool. My phone background for years and years and years, all that, and ending with Greninja / Ash Greninja, whatever you want to say, because I threw, obviously, all the different forms in with these. Like with Charizard, I threw in his Gigantamax, because those aren't on here, and their shiny forms and all that looking really good, and Smash memories, and, like, a lot of check marks. But like I said, no matter where we're seeing these Pokemon actually rank in this list, even Mr. Mega Charizard Y up here, I can find bad things to say about my number one spot Pokemon. Can he be considered overpopular? Yes. Is there bits of his wings and things with his arms that kind of sometimes bug me? Yes. Is there things I can find negatively to say I wish Charizard was better at? Yes. And whatever. And then same, if you want to go all the way down, just like we did when we started this video about like Alolan Raticate and stuff, that, I know how useful it can be with Super Fang and it being super effective against a lot of different Pokemon and how it could be useful, but I can't tell you how many times I played Pokemon Red before I knew about randomizers and stuff and started with Mr. Charmander getting to Charizard, and it was like one of the first 3 Pokemon I imagine myself having up there with Pikachu, Pidgeot, and stuff like that I was flying on and going through my journey with when I was a little kid, imagining and everything like that. I mean, it was the first Pokemon thing I got. Even in Pokemon Go, you could throw that in there. Like I said, it's in Smash Brothers. It's in so many different games. The Pokemon Snap, like hitting the Charmeleon in the fire and all that. The anime and so much does just hit yes, 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 yes with Charizard. That's always been my all-time favorite Pokemon. And yes, there's a big difference between Mega Charizard Y here and Greninja, but again, it's just a lot more difference than Charizard Y and Rockruff here. Just like I said, it just adds another check. All Mega Charizard Y and Greninja have basically all the same checks. It's just a little bit, they're bolder checks. I don't know how to better describe it. They're just more of like a, oh yeah, no, like not even like thinking about it. Like, oh, did I really like? I mean, I know Greninja's big in the anime, but I didn't really watch XYZ. So like, yeah, I'm gonna check like, yeah, anime remembrance, but like, it wasn't like, Charizard were like, oh, I remember when I was a kid watching Charmeleon fighting the Aerodactyl and him evolving into Charizard and him going against like Magmar and in the Pokemon leagues, and like I said, so many different things that I could talk about endlessly on each, honestly, a lot of these different Pokemon, no matter where they are on this list. I can find enough stories to tell you why they are where they are. But if you want to actually hear how they end up where they were and so much more of these stories, go back and watch each part. If you want to see where Charizard and how it ended and all of its story about it, go to part 1. Think of the generations. If it's a Gen 1, Gen 2 Pokemon, go to part 1. If it's Gen 3, Gen 4, go to part 2, so on and so forth. All through these past 4 parts. But these are our final rankings. Like I said, maybe from here we can do our top, 10 Pokemon of all time, top 10 Megas, top 10 Shinies, top 10 Gigantamax, things that are on here, not on here. Legendaries, whatever you want to say. We can do so much with this list now that I have it finally completed. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this, and I hope you have had a good time watching this all. We will be back probably, I think, yeah, the next video goes up tomorrow. It's going to be basically an overall Pokemon Again content video. It's going to feature some Pokemon Go, Pokemon Quest, and I don't remember what else. I feel like there was something else in there. Just a few more updates in that video. That'll be coming out tomorrow. I don't know what time just as yet. I'm trying to think that through my head, but definitely probably later afternoon, just like usual, somewhere after 7 p.m. Just stay tuned on our Twitter at ModerateGamer, and I'll let you know when that actually will air. I don't think I will do that one as a premiere, though. It'll just be a regular uploaded video, and then from there we'll go back to doing our live streams again, doing our Road to Shield series again and our shiny hunting again from then on out, and just kind of continuing. We have so much other stuff behind the scenes, and you guys know obviously about the co-op and stuff like that I've been doing with my wife and things, but there's also some other big works that we got a lot behind the scenes with other content creators and other things that are just going on a lot that we're getting pieced together and trying to return to YouTube. Yes, it's been a lot of different things that have been going on with, new family members and getting life in track and everything, more job work, and, life with the whole virus stuff, makes it a little bit unique and everything. But yes, no, we love YouTube. We love you guys. We love having a good time. And like we've said since day one, whether we have nobody watching or millions of people, we just love what we're doing, and we hope we can just give it something somebody will enjoy to watch. Maybe come and just escape things. We can talk to them, you can talk to us, and we can just all have a good time and go from there. Yes, we would love to grow. Yes, we want to know we can be successful here. But our main thing is just we enjoy what we do, and we want to please others as well, and just be there for others. And our main thing is more so actually taking care of others than it is ourselves. We want to help others grow and promote others' activities more than usually ourselves, honestly. But either way, again, thank you guys so much for watching this part of series. Like I said, there'll be more Pokemon content videos from here, whether it be like things like this where it's top 10s or like I said, randomizers or whatever it might be. A lot more coming with Pokemon stuff, and then non-Pokemon, we're going to have Mario coming up here very soon, Kingdom Hearts, so many different things, Smash Brothers, and different realms of just the gaming universe and top 10s and topics and things like that will be coming up to the channel, and I hope you guys will be all excited for it. Like I said, be sure to hit that like button, be sure to subscribe if you are new here, but otherwise, that's pretty much all I got here, guys. Thank you so much. This will be the Modern Gamer signing out. Kaka!